All right, so we'll pack one down the pipes for Sky Blue over here, JetBlue, whatever it is. There's it seems like there's a market that's banging out to 15 on the rise right now. Obviously, the market swing, the small cap got so big on influence that it becomes a self-sustaining problem of they'll move like that when it does some things on the thommulistic far side from JetBlue's interpretation. I have a folder like this. I have a lot of money on the folder about buying it here, buying it here, buying it here over to boot for what welcome to my world, Johnny. There's a certain nature well, that's the hit on the play, that's how it comes off on tone about certain situations, and this object being CERN, this is what's traveling down the pipes at that, because it's got to be at a certain level. CERN is a computational form base that, if left unchecked, becomes a small cap at the level of influencing it, the understood number, into the market, because you get that number about this little small caps, you're right into the ground, and obviously offsetting work into the military version of working the torch and working on these gaps of it that really keep people out of the market for that meme cap to actually be able to have an effect. Right now they're moving to this. It doesn't necessarily need to have that movement, equally like the natural market would say. You would want secure bets other than the main obligated wave function, which has its own tendencies. It's got a little bit of a witch's brew inside of there if they're not totally in line with the information. If you're going to say from the media level, from down off of that, but you're in the books about things, you look it up in the dictionary under certain stats of media, under certain standards of where it is right at the moment from that presentation. So it's almost a battlefield, right? It's like, this is going to do this. This is the big one for today, boys. They're moving it. As much as you program certain algorithms, whether it be people capped or computer cap or bottom, in terms of what it is. And so you go to the people right there, you're right, here's that dusted off, adjusted renormalization answer to here, because it'll only burn so long based on the numbers of sticks that'll do. And then, we just keep coming back to the same problem, stocks in general being a spoken team model, grinding that thing down and going through the efficient model of it, where I have a capital advantage over a certain thing in a certain stand. And I would say from coming off the line on a thing and dealing with market numbers and sending some stuff down the pipes about numbers, how it should resonate inside of the system a little bit cleaner by today's standards of how we're programming the thing, because you saw it, and as soon as I saw that number two, whether my own team players or something, not Armageddon there, and you see that guy, go get him, take the terminal from him. And so there's a reality of something that's happening there. Some dysfunctional wave function of Nephilim coming down off the hill from Odin's camp inside of numbers, whether it be age or distending or red shifting, blue shifting kind of natures of what happens inside of there. Of totally understanding, well, I need a camp all the time. I can't have Odin talking all the time of it. Elon puts out a number about Dogecoin, and all of a sudden this thing explodes over there. And I'm running around trying to fix the crew of it all. And that becomes the job. But obviously, when the job becomes a system where you can get this much legal eagle behind you backing that up about, well, it's a note about individually of players doing it by themselves. And at that, we're going to be loaded up about some certain things, especially in our content of Pokemon versus Pokemon inside here of this is not a simulator based on the real world consequences to this action of what happens in terms of handling that Hydra or whatever kind of flaming dragon that thing is over there, about limits, Omega, AI limits. How far would this question go if I programmed it into something that was a general simulator? Well, those whoever you are inside here, for what that does, and then every once in a while the brother steps up that's really, 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 really good with that stuff, and who does positioning camp value standards on on where topology, location, reactor core standards are putting in there kind of fucks people's world up. I have freedoms and all this stuff. It's like, yeah, let me see your numbers about how much of that's adjusted in your own coups. I'll go hunting, man. That's fine. It may not be against you, you big stick, but inside of here, gravity A, gravity B. I mean, getting into this chainsaw, chew off your damn hand. Uh, and I bring that topic up to somebody when I'm trying to find that middle ground about where this is in terms of what it is, why I have to go down as a messenger, or why Odin's sitting at the table of what it is in terms of watchers. It's like I am just one player here in terms of the Masons over certain categories over things that have area topology on a thing, and when it hops a Jaeger that comes into something like that, and of course I go to that 6 hour methodology over there like, oh yeah, all right, we'll back at it. Yeah, and you would want to, because there it's just the system, and like I said, they're going to have a whole bunch of stuff about the pain train and every variable that you missed off on because it didn't happen in my training models. And so those would be my keys. Wobble's account in terms of and whatever happens realistically in the camp for that area, so I can discern gravity from that function. And then somebody who says, well, that wasn't the numbers we had camped on our observations, but I can see how this file then gets interjected inside of this fold for what that situation is there, and how that'll blend this temperature. But there's some realistic numbers about your high horse inside of here about, well, is it really when I have the Russian Winter Games over there for deltas, and really what the oligarchy based on the affinity number 0 and 1 billion trillion gazillion looks like. You're gonna have some brothers running around in there that are just that type of way about them, and they're gonna come down, and it's gonna be gatekeepers, man, archangels for this calculus cup right here. You're gonna have a couple of sticks on this. It's just sticks. It's just a cup. A cup is a stick. A stick is that standard on this. And what is relative right now is the price of rice in China and how radioactive those ruples are, right, Chernobyl? I like to have fun with it. Usually it's my own damn people that I have to adjust back into the system in terms of the waves on the pond of that neutrino packing off downrange, or whatever the deal is. And I'm going to go, well, this is the number. You didn't have anything. You say numbers about, well, the small person. You're not the fucking small person, nor do they have money in the fucking system. Yeah, you got your ass lit a little bit. Change, move the topology. Obviously, sunshine in that spot a little too much for you. Catch you on the next one.